So now that the big beautiful bill passed, I wanted to see if there was anything in there that could help us in the real estate markets. And surprisingly, there were quite a few items that I think consumers and first-time homebuyers and investors could really take advantage of. So let me read you some of these and then kind of explain a little bit more in detail what they are. So one of the first ones is the SALT deduction. So SALT is state and local taxes. You used to have a cap of $10,000 for deductions on this. So let's say you live in Lake Tapps, Washington, and you have property taxes at $12,000 a year. Only 10,000 of those dollars were able to be written off. Now that's expanded out to 50,000. So you could write off the entire property taxes. Mortgage interest deductions, those stayed the same, so we still have that advantage. Capital gains exclusion, that stayed the same, so we still have that advantage. If you guys don't know what that is, if you sell a primary residence, you get to be exempt from a portion of the capital gains. If you're single, it's 250,000. If you're married, it's up to 500,000. There's some caveats to that, and we can go into details in a different video on that. This one's really cool. They're allowing for bonus depreciation. So bonus depreciation is where you take the entire life of the house and you write off all of the depreciation in a single year instead of spreading that out. So let's say, for example, you're a real estate investor and that's your profession, and you go out and buy a house, maybe that is going to need quite a bit of items over the years of things that need to get fixed, and you do a cost segregation on that. And during the cost segregation, they figure out that $200,000 of that is items that will depreciate. In a single year, you could write off 200 grand. A really good example of this is, let's say that you're a realtor and your income is $200,000, and then you go and buy a property and you're able to write off 200,000. In that example, you could pay zero in income taxes by the bonus depreciation wiping out all of your taxes. So that's huge. I think that's going to help a lot of investors. 1031 stayed the same. Opportunity zones. Our company, Movement Mortgage, actually uses this. We build schools in the highest poverty areas in North and South Carolina, and the opportunity zones make it a little bit more economically possible for us to do the schools. So I think this is a really good thing too, because commerce goes into areas that typically you wouldn't see it, but through tax incentives, it helps people push into areas where you really need to see that happen. In practical use, because a lot of you guys that I'm talking to are either first-time home buyers or you're on your second home. Let's say someone goes out, a married couple goes out and buys a $700,000 house. They put 5% down. Let's assume an interest rate of 6.875. Let's say that they hypothetically have 8,500 in property taxes, and let's say that their mortgage insurance is $250 a month. If they go, and also let's assume this couple makes $150,000 a year, because we need that number to kind of see what this does. Through all of these items, through the big beautiful bill, it ends up helping them by an additional savings of $6,000 a year on taxes, which essentially means you gain $500 a month. So let's say you're somebody in this scenario, you're a first-time home buyer, your rent's $4,000 a month, and you're right at the place where you're just like, I can't spend any more on housing. Like, that's where I'm capped. If you were to step up and pay a $4,500 mortgage, you're essentially at a wash. So you could increase your cost by $500 in owning in this scenario by using some of the advantages from the big beautiful bill, and you could wash out a lot of that expense. So I think that that's a big talking point, because a lot of times the first-time home buyer is looking at it apples to apples from renting and owning and not thinking about all of the tax implications. So all of these scenarios, guys, are going to be completely unique. If you're coming across one where you just go, hey, Miguel, help me figure some of this stuff out. I'm not an accountant, but I can kind of help massage some of this stuff, and then we can go to an accountant and get the real numbers, but we can do the basics for you. So anyways, reach out.